Hi everyone, I'm back. So let's get into it. Specifically, let's get into first. Obviously, it's gonna be NFL football, but let's get into the New York Giants. The New York Giants season has not gone well for them at all. There was a moment last couple of weeks, obviously, that they were winning, and who knows, maybe they would actually run the table like Odell was hoping, and other teammates were rattling around that. But unfortunately, that ended as well when they lost to Philadelphia Eagles this past Sunday. It was a close game, 25-22, but the Giants just didn't win it, and it's unfortunate. But looks like their season has gone for them. There's nothing else that they can probably do. I mean, maybe mathematically they're still in it, but realistically they're not. So what's going to go on for them for the rest of the season? Well, you got to see who you have. I mean, honestly, either you give you, I guess you. There's multiple ways you could do this as a Giants, as it for the Giants, and Giants fans may not want to hear this. Some may care, some may not. I understand Eli Manning is a great quarterback for the Giants. He was for that organization. He won them two Super Bowls. He may not have been someone who, like a Peyton Manning, like his brother, or the other quarterbacks were in his draft class, like Ben Roethlisberger, or the other quarterbacks that they had in that draft. He's not them, but it's not like he was. Yeah, he might be the third best technically, but winning those two Super Bowls, he's above Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers is a great quarterback, but Eli Manning's won two Super Bowls, and it was not like there were two Super Bowls where he was a pedestrian quarterback or he was, someone who was on the sidelines and didn't really deserve that win. He was a key quarterback, the key player in those wins, or one of the key players, I should say, because the Giants' defense was obviously really important in those wins. But he was a key player. He had moments that he wasn't afraid of. He threw the ball. He did what he had to do to get those wins. So not and he was the MVP of those Super Bowls. So think about this. You have someone who won multiple Super Bowls, was MVP of Super Bowls, who was one of the key players in those Super Bowls, and he's getting treated as if he didn't win anything and that he has not, that he's just been in this league compiling. Eli Manning, other than when he got taken out and not for injury, has never missed a game ever. And one of the best abilities in the league is availability. And he showed up every game and has showed up every game and done the best that he could. And I just think it's unfortunate that he's not going to get the ending, and a lot of players don't get the ending that they deserve. But in this particular case, he definitely won't. I mean, what are you going to do? Honestly, I think you keep him one more game and see what happens. Or you could go the other route and just end it here. But I think he deserves one more game, or maybe the problem is you can't give him the rest of the season because you have a quarterback, and I'm not talking about the backup. I'm talking about the third guy, Loletta. You got to see what he is because, yeah, you're going to go into the offseason getting a quarterback, but don't repeat your mistakes. Do not repeat history. Do not let another quarterback that you haven't evaluated yet not play in a season where, unfortunately, it's not going well for you. Yeah, Eli Manning is the quarterback, and he's good, and unfortunately, it's his time. It looks like it's just ending, and it's going to end bad for him. You give it to someone else. Either you give it to him now, or you give Eli Manning one more shot so the other guy can have more practice, Loletta, because you got to see who he is, Loletta. Unfortunately, it's not going to. Eli Manning's time is over, but you got to give Loletta time. You got to give him to show. Let's see. Who knows? He probably isn't the quarterback for this team, but you don't know 100% yet. Yeah, you seen him in practice. Yeah, you seen him in some drills and probably practice games, but you haven't seen him on the field in live action, where everything's faster. Everything is just going a million miles an hour, to see him in that environment, to see if he produces or not, to see if he's afraid of the moment, or to see if he thrives in it, or to see if he can do what it means to be a starting quarterback. You got to see. So I think you give Eli Manning this week. You hopefully not just next week or this coming week. You had him practice. Hopefully he's had other drills and gain second string reps as a quarterback, because he's going to need it. And you see what he has for the rest of the season. You really do. Because what if he is someone that's actually pretty solid, and you never evaluated him. You cut him. He goes to a different team, and all of a sudden, maybe he's not, lights the whole world on fire. But a team says, "Oh my God, he's pretty good. He's serviceable. We could get 10 years out of him. Go to playoffs, get some wins." Yeah, maybe that's something the Giant fans are hearing, like, "Oh, why do we need something like that?" But you rather, obviously, it has not gone well for Eli Manning, and yeah, he's made the playoffs. But I'm sure the Giants would love more consistency, would love to have a team in the playoffs regularly, you know? Of course, I'm sure they would. So you got to evaluate him. He may not be someone great, who knows? But worst comes to worst, check this out, people. You you evaluate him. He may not be perfect, but maybe he's not someone you want. But then check this out. He could be someone another team might say, "Hey, you guys don't want him. I understand that, but maybe we want him. Maybe you trade him. Maybe you get a draft pick out of him. You're not gonna get something high, but maybe you get a draft pick, and who knows who that player could be with that draft pick." So they got to figure this out for the Giants. They really do, and I think unfortunately it's not gonna end the way Eli Manning hoped, and it's not gonna end like his how it ended for his brother, and it's not gonna end how it ended for Michael Strahan or other Giants or other players who's gone off on. It's gonna end how Jeter's season ended, or how other team players who were iconic or who were really good in New York. And a perfect example, the quarterback before Eli Manning, not directly before him, but before him, he was great, Phil Simms, and that ended unfortunately horribly. Phil Simms, it ended and then it ended. Probably the same thing's gonna happen with Eli, and it's unfortunate to see, but that's gonna happen. You got to separate that, and you got to figure out what is best for the New York Giants moving forward. What do you have in Loletta? What do you have in him? Because you have a great running back. Saquon Barkley has really panned out, and you knew that was going to happen. You knew he was going to be a successful running back. Now we got to see longevity, other things like that. But so far this season, he's really good, and when he's on, he can really help out a quarterback. So maybe Loletta's not great, but he's good, and then you pair him with the running back, and then you pair him with Odell, and you pair him with all these different things. Maybe this team could really go somewhere. It could. So the Giants have to figure this out and what they're going to do moving forward, because you can't let this season be for nothing. Not again. You can't let that happen. You got to figure it out. The ownership of the Giants, the GM, whoever is making these decisions, they have to figure it out, because they cannot let another season go and this be for nothing all over again. I get why last season happened. It was just bad coaching, bad injuries, and I understand they thought they could get more out of Eli Manning. And I get it, because their offensive line is terrible last season. And it's still terrible, but it's gotten better. But as you can see, unfortunately, Eli Manning can still do great things. But I just don't think it's for the Giants. And I don't know what that means for him moving forward. Is he gonna, if they release him, is he gonna stay with the Giants, or he's gonna say, "Well, I understand that the Giants don't want me, but I still want to play in this league, go somewhere else"? Maybe. But I think it's just gonna be like what happened with Tom Coughlin. You have to just have a fresh start and move forward. You really do. And just don't let this season go to 100% waste, and figure out who the quarterback is moving forward. Now let's transition to the Jets. The New York Jets team and situation is different. They have a quarterback. They have a quarterback that they think is the quarterback of the future. That it's someone that they really, really think could work out. I think it probably is. The quarterback that they have can work out. But the Jets have to figure out who they are moving forward, what kind of players that they want, who are they going to bring in, because you can't have this quarterback that you have. You can't have him just be in limbo there and somewhere where it's going to get worse and worse. Yeah, I know he's injured, and right now it's unfortunate that's happening. And then, of course, your second string quarterback looks like he's injured, or he might be injured. We don't know yet 100% how that's going to go down. But they just have to figure out who they want going forward. Who do they want Sam Darnold to start? Be the head coach of, and players that they want around him. Because Sam Darnold, I think he can be good in this league. I can't say Hall of Fame, but I could say Hall of Fame good. He could be a really good quarterback for a long time. And maybe, you bring in other players, and that good becomes great, and then other players that great becomes Hall of Fame. You don't know. but you can't squander this moment. You can't. You know, it looks like Todd Bowles is gone, and unfortunately, that it is what it is on that. Todd Bowles had enough time here, and yeah, he may not had enough time with Sam Darnold, but he was here for many years, and other outside of the run where it was with another quarterback, who just had a magical season in Fitzpatrick, that they had a chance. All the other seasons are mediocre or less than mediocre. And Todd Bowles is a defensive guy, and his defensive team is not going the way he thought it would, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. So it's unfortunate, but Todd Bowles is going to be gone. Who are you going to bring as a head coach? What head coach are you going to bring in? I think it's time the Jets stop bringing in a defensive coach and bring in an offensive coach. And don't just bring a retread or unless it's someone who's established and someone that you think will do will do a representative job for the team. Don't do that. Bring someone in, maybe someone that everyone's high on, but people don't know much about, maybe fans don't know much about, but really smart football people do and say, hey, listen, he might be a college coach or he might be an offensive coordinator and say, this is the guy that I think, that's really, really going to bring it. That's really going to bring this team forward. And also, another thing I think the Jets should stop doing is stop having people coming in that are just like, oh, this is our recommendation and just stick with that recommendation. The Jets should do their own research. Really, the ownership should really get involved in this. Not 100%, not where like you arguing on football things that a football guy knows, but really take interest in this. Don't just believe what someone says. This is our recommendation. Just go with it. Ask questions. Figure out maybe, hey, yeah, this is someone we want too. This isn't just a recommendation. This is someone we like and we think we could bring in to help Sam Darnold. So the Jets have to figure that out. I honestly think what the Jets should do is you can have Sam Darnold, find someone who has longevity, someone who's going to be here, the head coach for a long time. Now, that's all subject to change with a GM. So that's another situation. Are they going to let go of McCagnon as well? Because there's multiple things here. You're going to bring in a new head coach. If you bring in a new head coach, that means the GM you have is going to stay. But then that means you have to make sure you're all in with McCagnon. Because if you aren't, then you get let go of the GM. The head coach is not going to stay. I mean, I'm sure he'll want to stay, but the new GM you bring in is not going to most likely won't say, hey, okay, I'll keep the head coach that we have now. No, he probably wants his own guy, and I'm sure just as well as it should be, honestly. But if you're in with McCagnon, fine. Then he gets the head coach. You're with him for another 5 years or so. And this is what you're going to move forward. McCagnon's the GM. This is the head coach McCagnon wants. We like him too. Here's the head coach, Sam Darnold. This is our new head coach. This is how he's going to help you. And you move forward from there. And not just that, you have the draft coming up. Obviously, the Jets, they're not going to get a great draft pick. We have that. But another thing they have coming is free agency. Money-wise, Jets are really good money-wise. They will have at least money to go after the players that they really want. The problem is players might see them. Oh, it's the Jets. Why would I want to be with the Jets? So you just have to do something. And I think if you get a new head coach or a new GM or someone who's serious about this, you bring in players, you got to figure it out because you don't want that money going to waste and you don't want Sam Darnold going to waste. You really don't. And I know people are saying, "Oh my God, why are you saying that? It's just been one season." Listen, the first couple of seasons are important for a rookie quarterback. Not in the more, obviously it takes time to develop and you want you want him to develop. But one thing that could really stunt his growth is bringing in too many guys. Imagine how many head coaches you have. Like if you're a Browns quarterback, imagine if you're the quarterback for that team. How could you stay on that team when you have so many different head coaches, so many different game plans, so many different rules, so many different rule book things, guidelines, things that they have to learn, verbiage they have to learn. So you don't want that starting to happen where like, oh, we're bringing this guy, we're bringing that guy. Next, Sam Darnold is 5 years later. He's had like 2 or 3 head coaches, different verbiage, and he's still not great because he can't even master that. So I think the Jets have to really sit down and decide, is this our GM? Yes, it is. Okay. Who is he going to bring in? Yes, we want to bring him in. How is he going to help Sam Darnold? This is how he's going to help Sam Darnold. Hey, guys, whoever players in free agency, hey, we want you. And this is how we're going to attack things. This is how we're going to be successful. This is how we're going to help the Jets become a winning organization again and get back into playoffs. And then you go from there. You really do, and you see what happens next. When I come back, I'll have some NBA talk. All right.